Greetings, fellow humans. Bad Mark here with another transmission from Metre Keyboards, and today we're taking a look at the Leobog Hi75 again. Leobog and Olive are sister companies, and not too long ago, the agent that I deal with reached out to me, and he's like, I want to send you this Hi75. He didn't give me much more than that. I don't know if it's a new revision. I don't know if things have been fixed. I do know that this is one of their more popular kits and they're producing it. So he sent it my way. Because I've already taken a look at previous versions before, we'll take a quick look at it, but I'm going to do something I haven't done before, is go ahead and open it up and take a look at what's inside there. So we're going to have a basic teardown, and then we'll do, the simple closing thoughts, because I have used the Hi75 for a while. It's been in my rotation. It's an affordable and a decent 75% aluminum keyboard. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on in and open it up and see what we've got. So as with previous Hi75s, we have that user card that's included. Just a quick version of the shortcut keys, and it does include a dust cover, which is very thankfully appreciated. It does have a user manual, and it actually comes with the Leobog sticker indicator for the lights separately, so you can choose to add it or not add it. We also have an accessories box that has its little astronaut, which includes a couple of extra switches. Those are the Nimbus switch from Leobog. That's why you'll find a lot of Leobog switches on all the keyboards. We have a standard wire switch and keycap puller. We have a nylon braided USB-A to USB-C cable. Some good strain relief right there. And here we are with the Leobog Hi75. This one's actually quite nice. I've done a bare bone and then a previous build. The keycaps, though, on here, they almost look like the Mini SA. I don't think the box alluded to what it had. All right, so yeah, this is V3. I'm almost positive I would have to pull out the other boxes, but I believe I've done V1 and V2. So this is V3. So that's why this is different. Now the keycap profile, I'm not sure of. Let's see if they have this on their site. All right, so taking a quick look, this is actually the MDA profile, and I do believe I have some MDAs, but I haven't loaded them in a while. This actually reminds me of the new short SA, but it's actually really nice. It's actually almost, not quite, MTNU. I must say, though, I really do like this keycap profile. Let's check out the stabilizers. This is the Nimbus V3, I believe. It is pre-lubricated. It doesn't have any ping whatsoever. It's a nice dust-proof stem. And I'm a fan of a lot of the Leobog switches. Though if I had to pick, I like the Greywood V3, probably the best. But that's probably the Leobog switch I have the most of. The Reaper's nice, the Nimbus is nice, but it definitely delivers a nice tone. All right, I'm clipping the stabilizers from the gasket-mounted PC plate. We see that we have lubrication inside of the stabilizer wire. There does not appear to be any wire near the elbow. And of course, like previous versions, we do not have the ability for screw-in stabilizers. We see that the stabilizers are very well attached. They have only the most minimal wobble, and there is no issue or ticking to speak of. Leobog and all keyboards, maybe it's just my opinion, but they seem to have some of the best stock stabilizers out of. They're probably in the top 3 in my opinion as far as their stabilizers. I can't recall having to tune Leobog stabilizers. Anyway, we do have the knob. I know some people don't like it. I like it. You press and hold, you're in game mode, and it turns the light on. Press and hold, and you go back to quality mode or office mode. Like I said, with these light linears and the hi-fi layers that it has, it delivers a very thocky, creamy type tone, marbly perhaps. But one of the things that I haven't done, despite having taken a look at a number of these, is I haven't disassembled it. So today we're going to take a look. Now obviously I can't compare because I haven't disassembled the previous ones, but let's see if there's anything that we can find that may have been done better. Though, I mean, the knob doesn't bother me that much, but taking the fact that the popular opinion is that the knob is, people prefer the knob opaque over the way that it is, which, like I said, I'm neither here nor there with it, but I think that's the only major complaint I've heard about this keyboard. It has been extremely popular. Right now, if I look on the Leobog site, this keyboard, aluminum 75% loaded with switches and keycaps, it's $49.50. $49.50. I mean, that's, think about it, just 2022, 2023, let me take you back to that day when aluminum keyboard, okay, well, $200 minimum, and that was, without even stabilizers. $49.50 for a fully built 75% aluminum keyboard? That's insane. I mean, $49.50. It was 99 bucks, and it was a pretty good price at 99 bucks, though. I mean, many times, I know I purchased one myself, I think for $45. So, I mean, $49.50 basic, it's just, it boggles the mind. But we definitely are in a new market. So let's go ahead and take off the keycaps and unscrew it and see what we've got on the interior. All right, so if you noticed, I hand unscrewed these screws. They are Phillips head. It's really just not the best practice, especially if you're using a softer alloy, because it can very easily strip. So I hand unscrewed them very carefully just to make sure not to skip. Those skips are what can cause screws to strip. But in manufacturing, especially mechanical keyboards, anything electronic, I really wish that manufacturers would move away from using Phillips screws and move to using Torx or something like Torx, because it just makes for a big difference when it comes to preventing stripping of screws. All right, so we've gotten the 6 screws out of here, and we should be technically able to just lift up. Oh, am I missing? Oh, no, that was just tight. All right, so we can just lift up. We see the case here below. We see that we have, oh, there's a piece of tape there. I wonder if that's, oh, that's holding the magnet in place. Okay. I did not expect that, but we've got gaskets on the top case. Set this aside. We see the gasket mounted PC plate with the screw and stabilizers just coming with it. And the 2 foam blockers there kind of just stay as part of the plate. Let's actually flip it. Do that. Then we have what feels like a Poron foam that's got Poron and perhaps PET on that side as a foam between the plate and the PCB. And we have our IXPE layer. Oh, that seems to be combined with, oh no. We have our IXPE layer that actually appears to have a PET type plastic on the one side, but then we do have the PET layer as well. All right, so we have some very light gaskets. They're attached, I'm going to guess, either double-sided tape or glue. And we have per key flex cut on practically all of the alphas, and even in the navigation column. And we pick it up, we see that we have a thicker, feels like a pour-on foam below the PCB with another PET layer to prevent any shocking with the bottom of the case. And we also have that single ribbon cable connecting us to the daughter board. And we do see that the potentiometer meter, which is not your standard potentiometer meter because it has a tactile button in the middle. And this is the actual mechanism. It's stepped, but we have some what appears to be JTAG ports. I didn't see anything. Oh, that's why this is covered. So now I've covered up the MCU. So at some point I want to actually get into, these are usually JTAG connectors, and if you know what you're doing, should be able to download firmware off of these this keyboard, though everyone's going to be a little bit different. If I can download firmwares and know that I can upload them again should I mess up trying to create an alternate firmware for it, then that gives me a lot more, makes me feel more confident that, you know, if I screw up, I can always go to step one and start all over again. All right, so we got an interesting build here. Let's go ahead and put it back together. Like I said, I haven't opened up the other ones one of these days because I do have a number of the Hi75s now. I want to do a video doing different mods with each one. Maybe we'll do one completely silent, one completely clacky, and one completely thocky, maybe one somewhere in the middle. Who knows? But we have the ability to now do some comparisons of mods and see. Maybe we'll do a foamless build. All right, loaded up a few random switches just to keep this aligned while I put the top plate back on. Nice tight fit. And again, I'm going to hand screw the screws back on. I don't want to take a chance on stripping anything. So I'm going to do something just a little bit different since I already had all the switches and keycaps taken out. Because it's not a cherry profile, and I like to do as often as possible cherry profiles, I went ahead and loaded up, now granted it's a Franken switch, but it's a Gatoron yellow by another name. I call it the sunny side up. It's basically a Gatoron smoothie palm housing switch with the double stage spring that comes in there and the stem from a Gatoron yellow. So I just want to kind of just compare between the Nimbus switches and the MBA profile keycaps, which I'm going to do a sound profile of that as well. I'm going to rebuild it up as it was stock, just so that we can just hear a comparison of different profile and different switches and see how much that can make a difference without ever taking out any of the foams, changing any of things like that, which I do intend to come back to now, especially that I have a few of these Hi75s. I want to do comparisons of foam and foamless builds, as well as maybe some loud switches and some quiet switches, and see what kind of sound profiles we can get out of a Leobog, because I have been using Leobog Hi75s now for, I want to say, over a year, and I use them stock. I do know that there is a little bit of case ping, and there's a couple of just little tiny issues that could be perfected, but it's never been, for me anyway, as much of an issue saying, oh, I need to go in there and mod it. But now I do want to get in there, and I do want to get in there and kind of play around, see what, what kind of sound profiles I can get out of this. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, I will load up the Nimbus switches, the Leobog Nimbus switches, as well as the MBA keycaps. But there will be 2 sound tests at the end, so stay tuned. And maybe I'll do a quick supercut between the 2, just so you can hear them side by side. Anyway, I do hope that you enjoyed this review and teardown of the Hi75. Like I said, under a sub $50, 75%. I mean, it's wired only, but a lot of us are fine, wired only. An aluminum keyboard for this price is almost unheard of. I mean, it's practically unheard of, but prices seem to be going down despite what we'd think otherwise would be going up. But I'm not going to argue. Especially at a sub $50 price, this is a deal. I mean, and it's not even a bare bone. It's, a full kit. Again, like I said, the thumbnail will have the actual build that it comes. That doesn't come with these. These are Metre double shot PBT cherry keycaps. And like I said, my own Franken switch, the Gatoron, sunny side up. It's not a Gatoron switch. It's just what I call it. And I will be doing a video on that switch as well. But if you have any questions about this keyboard, anything you'd like to see me do, because like I said, now that I've got a couple of units, I want to do some side-by-side comparisons. So if there is a particular comparison, like, hey, I want some really loud tactile switches in one build with every foam taken out except for the PCB plate foam. Okay, and then another one with a linear switch, with all the foam in there, or whatever combinations, maybe one with the tape mod and one without, and see how much difference a tape mod does, or maybe it won't make a difference. I think it will. I don't think it'll make a huge difference, but I think it will make a noticeable difference. Anyway, I do hope that you enjoyed this teardown video, review and sound test. As always, I want to wish everyone out there in YouTube land a wonderful rest of your day. And until the next transmission, keep calm and keyboard on.